Black Ops 2 was the peak of Call of Duty, definitely. Black Ops 3, a pretty fucking good game. At first, there was only one zombies maps that was available, and that was the overrated Shadows of Evil. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I know people defend that Shadows of Evil bullshit with their life. That was the single most overrated piece of zombies content ever. Zombies in Spaceland is better than Shadows of Evil. I said it. I said it. Get mad. Campaign had a beautiful premise, but a god-awful execution. And it made it one of, if not the worst Call of Duty campaigns ever.
Black Ops 3 put the Call of Duty community to an all-time high. The grind for Dark Matter, Hero Gear, the YouTube videos, I mean, come on. It wasn't until this game started to make all of their rare supply drops better than the items that actually came with the game. I mean, to start off, the guns were blatantly overpowered, the DLC gear looked much better, way cooler, the weapon camos were flashier, but then they riddled the supply drops with a bunch of bullshit to make the probability of getting something of use very slim. Eventually, there was more content locked behind DLC than what actually came with the game. It was very sad to see such a good game go out the way it did due to money-hungry developers.
Infinite Warfare was a Call of Duty game that got a lot of heat in areas where it shouldn't have. The design was like 2D, and I'm sure that was just to compensate for like all of the content in that game. But still, like, the textures were fucking terrible. And the sound design, oh my gosh. But let me read off my script, please.
Weapons and time to kill were decent, but the hit detection was wonky. Then you had some terrible-ass sound design, sounding like fucking bubbles coming out of my gun. I mean, like, you have a fucking space pro. These are the strongest guns out of any Call of Duty game, and you mean to tell me that the hits sound like... Tell me that the guns don't sound like you're fucking, like, rain pattering on your window. The Black Ops 3 ethics were introduced, but to a slightly lesser extent. Now let's get into the downfall era of Call of Duty. These 4 titles made me lose complete faith. We're gonna get to the reasons why in a second, but I mean, can we just have a slight moment of silence? Just a brief moment of silence, rather. These 4 titles were an abomination, a disgrace.
World War II was pathetic at best.
Guns were all slow and clunky. The maps were 3-lane styles, done horrible because they wanted to be historically accurate. The maps were sort of fast-paced, with a bunch of fucking structures that just obscured the map design completely. Since World War II was a 4-hit time to kill, the speed of the maps just completely backfired. The flow of the game was all over the place. It was enough to where doing good in that game genuinely looked ugly. Not only that, but the guns were ugly as fuck.
I heard that the game had an overhaul, like halfway through the life cycle, and people said, oh, it's actually decent. But I went back on that shit, and they ain't fixed shit, okay? They ain't fixed shit. I don't know what you're talking about. Then you have a Battle Royale and a Call of Duty game. I mean, they were really filming the fucking competition this year, huh?
Battle Royale, huh? What you mean?
Yo, don't fucking play with me.
Whoa, okay, who the fuck you raising your voice at, little nigga? Yo, kill that noise, bruh. You ain't been popping since Black Ops 2.
How did this fail? You put the most iconic Black Ops maps in one island. Oh yeah, because you could only access the Battle Royale through the full game. That's right. Rookie ass fucking mistake. Do you know, like, I would much rather play Blackout with my friends than fucking Warzone, but since it's attached to Black Ops 4, it's like a waste of a game mode.
Let's get into the multiplayer. Good guns, check. Shitty maps, check. Good kill streaks, check. What really ruined this was the time to kill. 6 fucking shots to kill 1 person. I mean, what the fuck was Treyarch thinking? I mean, the brain-dead argument is that it takes more skill to land 6 bullets than it does 3 or 4. But, I mean, the maps aren't the fucking size of Russia, and you'll be seeing players at least once every 15 seconds, even on a big map. Nuketown, for instance, is constant action, and you want me to think that putting 6 shots to kill 1 person doesn't make me look like a sitting fucking duck? What happens if I get a double kill? When I'm fighting a good player who gets me down to 20 health, for example. I kill that player, and then, okay, I can focus on another player who's not even looking at me. But because I'm regenerating from 20 health, and have such a far way to go, this idiot can shoot me once and kill me because it's going to take me another 6 shots to kill them. There's also no compensation for this new time to kill at all. I mean, my recoil will start to bounce after 6 or so bullets like any other Call of Duty game. Ammo capacity was just about the same as any other Call of Duty game. Why do we have Battle Royale health in multiplayer is the question that we should be asking. It would be different if we were playing Battle Royale and we had wide open fields where players don't encounter each other that often. Then your accuracy is on the line. Then it takes skill to play the Battle Royale game. But this is multiplayer. 6 shots to kill was a failed experiment. Haha, very funny. Haha. That really hit different. Alright, now let's never fucking do that again. The next thing that is severely wrong with this game are the specialists. I mean, this year, in particular, was the very first time that we see Call of Duty cater to little ass kids. Skill-based matchmaking and pedophile warfare proves that they want to protect people that are ass. But I mean, we aren't that advanced yet. It is only 2018 at this point, and not 2020/2021. You feel me? Specialists were fucking broken. I mean, that's just the only way to put it. There were only a few new specialists. The rest were jacked from BO3, and it's supposed to take place before BO3, yet the specialists are on crack and are stronger than they were in the previous title. Firebreak has a seemingly endless flamethrower, and his other ability is to radiate a location. Not only is the radiation field wide as fuck, but he has the nerve to have extra health while radiating. The next returning specialist is in Tempest. He has a fucking RC car that zaps motherfuckers who don't have lightning fast reflexes. No pun intended. Previous game, you had a long ADS time, relatively long ADS time, not like LMG long, but you get what I'm saying. And there was a delay from when you shot the Tempest. In this game, you zoom in quick as fuck, like those niggas in a BO2 sniping montage, and your shot was instant. Actually, if you missed the Tempest, there was, like, genuinely something wrong with... You must have had 4 fingers if you could miss a fucking Tempest shot. They fucking took Chop from GTA 5 and fucking put a life vest on his ass, and he would literally jump up and bite you in the fucking ass, treating you like you were the NPC. Then there was a riot shielder who could shoot you with absolutely no consequence. If you were facing him, there was literally no opening for you to shoot. One time, I actually showed signs of competence by earning a score streak. In fact, it was with that fake-ass Warthog. I really don't remember the name. The Thresher. Yeah, that's it. Then some bitch hacks my shit, and it starts shooting at me! Wait, what the actual fuck?
So you mean to tell me I can have my 13 kill, no death score streak flipped on me because some bitch earned a participation trophy? You see that shit? Right there was when I knew it was time to get the fuck up off this game. How dare you disrespect the Black Ops legacy with this shitty ass entry? Get the fuck out of here.
Modern Warfare. Alright, the campaign is the first thing that we'll touch upon. The campaign was decent, but boring. It was missing the overall elements of fun that every other Call of Duty campaign had. I'll start by saying this. There were some standout missions like Clean House, but the rest of the story felt so serious, like I had to take that shit to the max. Captain Price bitch ass lecturing me every other mission, asking if I wanted to sit out because shit would get too serious. Yeah, John, nigga, I played the fucking campaign. I'm pretty sure I've seen it all. But to expand upon my previous point, let's take Call of Duty Cold War, for example. They also tried to make that game realistic. They did a much worse job than Modern Warfare did, but that doesn't change their intentions of making it realistic or realistic to a degree. They had a mission where you literally walked in on an active fire drill, sneaking into a Russian prison as undercover Americans, and that Arctic mission and shit. I mean, you know, you had some excitement that we got in, again, every other Call of Duty campaign. I mean, this was clearly missing in Modern Warfare, with its realistic, closed-minded ass missions, shock value ass missions. Anyways, introducing facts instead of my feelings. They wanted to make the No Russian from Modern Warfare 2 look like a Pixar film, quoted by an Infinity Ward employee. So they put a character named Vada in, and I'm supposed to fight alongside her in Iraq. I mean, first extend, my bad. My sole motivation in helping her is because of what was done to her people.
Because of this poison, my people have known something worse than war.
Help us track it.
If you stay, we can help you. But if you stay, you fight.
First of all, bitch, I don't give a fuck about you or your people. Let's just get that out the way.
Multiplayer was only good for gun fanatics, because the only thing that they did good was the weapon and sound design. I mean, it's really hard to believe that the same motherfuckers that did the sound design for Infinite Warfare were the same ones that did the sound design for this game. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I really have to give credit where credit is due. I've shot some of the same guns that were in the game, and it looks almost spot on. But how does that bleed into the game itself? Since we're going for realism, it's really not surprising that the maps were shitty, way too fucking big for the game modes. I mean, my nigga, there were Battle Royale size maps for 10v10, Ground War size maps for 6v6, and 6v6 size maps for 2v2. Infinity Ward, it's not like you've never made a fucking Call of Duty game before. I thought you started the series. The poor map design created too many ways and openings for players to get shot from. I mean, if someone is shooting at you and you can't even tell where they were until the kill cam, there's an obvious issue. Also, when you walk down a basic part of the map, and I feel as though I need 8 eyes just to check for all the possible locations to where I can get shot from, there's also an issue. I mean, how is this a f***ing spawn? And the poor map sizes led to unreal amounts of camping.
But, you know what? No. I'm not gonna camp.
What we really want to do with this game is we want to get new players in the game, and we want them to kind of like, we don't want them to just get punched in the mouth over and over again until they leave. Our maps are a little bit more porous, and you know, we want those players to have a safe place to take their time, to learn how to turn and move and then shoot, put those pieces together, and then they see someone and be like, oh, okay, now I can do this.
that approach that you're describing there isn't going to come at the expense of the hardcore players, right?
I really don't understand how niggas like Tfue play this game all day, but that's beyond me. I also don't understand how grown-ass adults touch children. Speaking of grown-ass adults touching children, we have Call of Duty Cold War. I've said it before, and I have no problem with saying it again. If you like Call of Duty Cold War, you touch kids. The higher your playtime is on that game, the more likely you are to be put on a list. If you get endorphins on an ugly-ass game that actively works against you, then, I mean, there just has to be something wrong with your frontal lobe. Let me just touch on the issue of skill-based matchmaking in general, right? It's put in place to protect these low-skill players from these high-skill players. So, all these low-skill players are playing together and they aren't getting better. They have really no potential to ever be as good as these high-skill players. Meanwhile, these high-skill players are constantly playing against each other. And since they're all high-skill players, they're going to sweat and there is going to be no sense of fun or enjoyment on the game. And not only that, it's also unfulfilling to the players that actually put in the time to get good at the game. Just keep it in a ranked playlist, all right? That's it.
So it wasn't a surprise when YouTubers with millions of subscribers were reverse boosting, which is killing yourself a bunch of times so your stats lower. In turn, you'll be placed with people who are missing a hand or two. Of course, people started calling out the YouTubers because they were getting nuclears against kids who were playing with the Xbox adaptive controller. When this YouTuber accused people of being racist, he finally folded like a bitch and admitted to what he did. A lot of other YouTubers came out the closet and began to admit what they were doing as well. I can't take this seriously. This started the hashtag remove skill-based matchmaking movement. So instead of removing it, they made it stronger. Let me catch some multi-billion-dollar organization / company doing some petty ass shit like this. Like a little fucking girl, man. This is only the tip of the iceberg. So there's actually proof of people who are doing good in games, or not even good, just decent, and then they'll start having connection interruptions in the middle of games. This is actually intentionally done by the server so that the performance of the players could be even. Meaning, if you are good at the game, the server would intentionally make you lag so other players who are getting shit on in the lobby have a higher chance of killing you. You know how pathetic that is? That's just...
But getting back to the season, fuck Witch Bounty forever. The final showdown event was dumb as hell, but other than that, good season.
The way to describe this season is good battle pass, bad season. Bad season. This is where Fortnite took a grim turn. The loot pool was more or less trash, with the drum shotgun appearing more often before it got removed. The story made no sense whatsoever. I guess Kevin the bitch came back, and he brought back our favorite locations, but with a twist that would take away from the entire essence of the location. Retail Row is back, but you can only loot it for a few seconds before the fuck nightmare zombies will want to do something strange for no change. You had to bend over backwards and start twerking if you wanted to visit Greasy Grove. And Mosty half-ass made a return. I guess it saw Fortnite and said, "Oh no! No! No." Anyways, you turn into a damn prop every time you crouch. Let's see, what else? You can build, farm materials, shoot, walk, think, blink, or breathe in Tilted Town. It got so bad that they had to change it to Gotham City. And all of this wasn't competitive. So much for trying to keep casual and competitive players separate like you tried to do in Season 8 Epic. And don't even get me started on the mech. It's the second most destructive thing to enter Fortnite. I mean, I got 800 points on day 1 of the season, but that was with the help of the mech. It was so broken that my team was divided in wanting to destroy the mech whenever it landed, or run as far away from it as possible. No matter what, Epic didn't remove it. Of course, they wanted to associate the season as the one that didn't have the mech, so we could give it brownie points. And if they did remove the mech, it would only acknowledge their incompetence. Epic decided to add in a new map. Although this new map is a lot worse than the old one, it's what everybody asked for. The problem with this season was that Epic did nothing. I mean, they stopped putting up patch notes, took breaks throughout Christmas, and distanced themselves from the community. I guess they were tired. They had Fort Nightmares with the boss that had 65,000 faces. If you got that glider, good for you. You need like a medal one or something. They added some new Halloween skins, dances, decorated them out for Christmas, and then that was it. Besides the Star Wars event and the ladder, there was nothing. They alluded to a new story with a new setting, but it never happened. It honestly felt depressing and made me miss when Epic had the essence of Fortnite in hand. It was the longest season to date, so I took more joy in watching other people play wagers than the actual game. The only thing that was good in this season was that competitive got better. As shit as the new map is, we have to admit that the new map was better for competitive. But Epic left us in an unfamiliar environment with no remorse. I didn't buy that battle pass, and I couldn't tell you my end of the season level. And to make it worse, the season ran twice as long as expected. It was agonizing. When I saw the new trailer, I was very unenthusiastic. Based on Epic's past actions, I could have cared less. I did not stream the new season on day 1, nor did I get that mediocre-ass battle pass. This season was Spy and Deadpool themed. There were several new POIs throughout the map, each of which had their own henchmen and bosses. The boss would drop a key card to their location's vault, as well as their signature weapon. Now, this is where things got bad. The loot pool was in a good place, tax and pumps for shotguns, normal and suppressed SMGs, rocket launchers, AR and suppressed stars, so on and so forth. Not the best, but definitely a solid loot pool. But then we got into the mythic weapons that the bosses dropped upon death. Brutus' fat ass dropped a blatantly overpowered minigun. Midas's jump gun could melt through pretty much anything. Sky's AR was the Season 3 Golden Scar on crack, as well as an Infinite Grappler, and the Boom Bug came back with TNT. Now, I was content with this season for the most part. I bought the Battle Pass once I reached level 100. This was my first season where I took up cash cups. I also had the most arena points in my career, which was 4,000, which is shit, I know. But compared to what you'll hear next, it's amazing. I didn't play arena until the end of the season, and I would consistently get to the end game every game. Now, the question is, why did everybody tweet out RIP Fortnite during this season? Well, absolutely nothing besides the Travis Scott event happened. It was the second longest season to date, being extended for double the amount of time, just like the last season, and PC players had to deal with overpowered aim assist on top of the mythic weapons. This season would have been fine with its decent premise if it didn't run on for as long as it did. Now, Epic tried to make a comeback this season. They really did, and I commend them for their effort, or attempt. The agency turned into the Authority. This was because Shadow beat Ghost during the last season, but Epic did not make that apparent at all. Surprise, surprise. So at this point, the story is dead, and in an attempt to save this game, Epic surrounds the map in water. Now, in the beginning of the season, half the map is covered in, again, water. There were some new locations that were on rafts, but all in all, I felt like the game was getting pretty gimmicky. The first thing that I noticed was the god-awful loot pool. The single most destructive addition to Fortnite had been added, the charged shotgun. Now, of course, pro players were able to adapt to it, but the charged shotgun was, and still is, terrible. I say that it's more destructive than the next because it tears into the fabric of the game. It ruins the flow of conventional fighting and prevents you from doing basic things. You're either going to have to sacrifice health if you want to hit a headshot over 100, and a box, of course. The only way you can effectively use the shotgun is if you pre-fire, which is difficult enough to do, and it's not like you can use the gun as a pump. There's a delay from the time that you press the trigger or click, and when you release to shoot it.
When I shoot, shot, then shot. Do you see the delay? Like, I'm literally saying when I'm shooting. Watch. Shot. Shot. Shot.
So you better hope that you have good aim. But 90% of players can't hold their crosshairs on the enemy's face as they're jumping, building, editing, and riddling you full of bullets. Oh, and sometimes the gun wouldn't even shoot. Someone on a private flight. Gun rifles came back, but they were on a cocaine binge from the last time they were removed. They were fun to use, but overpowered and competitive. Crash pads were a good source of movement, but the glitch which caused it to break builds is just as cheap as killing someone by phasing through their builds. Epic narrowed the boss location down to a number of 3. The Authority was crowded as fuck, but in hindsight, it wasn't so bad if you knew where to land. The Force Hill was pretty good, but the rotation was a bitch and competitive since that helicopter wasn't there. And Catty Corners is still the worst location that wasn't introduced in Season 10. Gabriel will tell you why.
We had a chance. We had a fucking ounce of a mortal of a chance, okay? And now we're stuck here at fucking bitch corner with Meowscles and his 30 to 40 henchmen that are taking up every square meter of the fucking...
Breaking news! Breaking news! Local teenage scumbag puts Marvel characters in the new Fortnite Battle Pass. Suspect is to be considered armed, dangerous, and mentally unstable. Authorities are offering $100,000 worth of V-Bucks for information leading to their arrest. Yes, I did tie this tie on myself without looking it up. Maybe there is hope for this generation of teenagers. More on that. Back to you, Mdog5.
That fight against Galactus was fruity, and the story again makes absolutely no fucking sense. But anyways, the Jonesy that we saw from the Season 12 cutscene makes a return. He had to get the 0 point from when Chapter 1 story began to make no sense. Basically, it was a scapegoat for Donald Mustard to bring in his fantasy characters into Fortnite. But let's be real, if you made a game that blew up the way Fortnite did, and you had creative freedom through status and money that your game generated for you, you would not know how to act either. But anyways, new season, so why not check it out? Improved graphical stability, so cool. But then the loot pool is back to the charge and tack. What the fuck? This is like getting your ass whooped for putting your hand in the cookie jar. Then you go to your room and cry about it for 15 minutes. Then from your room, you go back into the kitchen and then stick your nasty ass hand back into the cookie jar. I just don't get it. What's next? The mechs are going to be back for Christmas? Speaking of which, I'm sure it'll be ass, just like the Battle Pass that I refuse to buy. I do recognize that this season's Battle Pass is based off of personal preference, and personally, I think it's shit. I mean, you have this anime horror, an ugly-ass gladiator, this weird-ass Valkyrie, so I tried to stray away from online and wanted to get into the 1v1 box fighting that was offered. But since it puts me against keyboard PC players and aim assist controller players that hit for 1,000 damage across the battle arena, I decided to back away from that too.
All in all, I can gladly walk away from this game. Call of Duty Modern Warfare looks like a fucking masterpiece now.